Welcome to another episode of Full Spectrum Survival. Some time ago, Hogtown Prepper tagged Brad and I for our 3 favorite bushcraft items that we take into the field. And I really wanted to thank him for that because it gave us an opportunity to sit back and really discuss what were the implements that we brought into the field that were our favorites. I really enjoyed Hogtown's video. I enjoyed Brad's video as well. My 3 favorite items, after I started thinking about it, really represented comfort. Brad and I generally practice fire watch in the wintertime. So getting up every 3 or 4 hours to spend your time on fire watch while sleeping on the ground ends up being really uncomfortable for me. So I choose as my number 1 sleep system a hammock. Now, I've experimented with a couple different types of hammocks. The 2 that I found that I like the most are the Eno hammock, and they come in single or double. Now, I've heard that the double is a lot more comfortable. I haven't experimented with that yet. They run about $40. And I also have a Hennessy hammock that I primarily use in the summertime because it has an integral mosquito net. I also have a mosquito net for this sleeping system, but today, thank goodness, the insects aren't really out and I don't have to have it up. Being able to sleep off the ground, for me, makes a dramatic difference in my experience out in the field. I have a couple sleeping options, units that allow me to sleep on the ground, and it surely is faster, but in Florida with the amount of insects that we have, I'm much more comfortable sleeping in a hammock. And that brings me to my second favorite item, which is a wool blanket. Now, Brad inadvertently destroyed my other blanket, which was a poncho liner in an exercise that we were running. So I knew he was using one, and he had offered to buy me one. So I said, sure, I'd like to try it. He bought them at Harbor Freight. They were $10, and they came with a really heavy petroleum smell to them. They're for shipping or packing furniture. He assured me that if I washed it 3 or 4 times by hand and let it air dry, that I would be able to get the petroleum smell out of it. And I knew that he was really enjoying his. It was his blanket solution in the winter and in the summertime. So I gave it a try, and I liked it so much that I had some modifications done to it. Sleeping in a hammock doesn't allow you to put a blanket between yourself and the hammock because you crush the insulation value of the material, and by convection all of your heat is lost out the bottom, which is great in the summertime because it can keep you cool. But I also know that if I sweat in the summertime, in the daytime, and I go to sleep at night out in the field, I get chilled really easily right around 2 to 4 o'clock, even if the temperatures really don't get any lower than 85 degrees. And this gives me an option that I can put it underneath as an under blanket. The modification, the first one, was having the ends sewn, and I was able to slip, my wife sewed it for me, and I was able to slip paracord through the ends, which act as whoopee slings to create an under blanket that will hold in, will trap air that is heated through insulation. The second modification that I had my wife do was to make a ground sleeping option out of this blanket, and I had her sew Velcro along the openings so I could actually put on the ground over a mat, a sleeping mat, and it's just great in the summertime and in the wintertime. Now it's an 80-20 split on the wool, so it doesn't retain as high of an insulated value when wet as 100% wool would, but it's sufficient for me and my needs. The third item on my list of favorites, that's also a comfort item, is my stainless steel cooking pot. Now, I have experimented with some other pots, even some of the titanium pots, and I really found that was $21, and it's made by Snow Peak, that this gives me a very wide range of cooking options. It also has a handle to be able to have it hung over the fire, and a handle on the back, which I enjoy, to be able to take it off of the fire if you choose not to hang it. It has a pour spout and it comes with a nice lid. There are lighter units available, and I suggest that you try out a few of them to see what works best for you. But these are my 3 top items. I'd like to see yours. I'd like to see Giuliani's, what his three favorite items are when he goes out in the field. So Giuliani, consider yourself tagged. And I appreciate you watching the video and your views and any comments that you leave. Take care.